Isaacson is the
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing today? Thank you guys for stopping in. I am the Mr. Yours, and today we're playing Evony the King's Return on PC, and we got a special guest today, and that is Hefe, one of the greats, one of the legends, all in here to ourselves today. A great guy, honestly. I've spoken to him a couple of times. Check out his content. He does have a YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go follow him on YouTube. He's got a great channel. One of Evony's greats. He really is one of Evony's greats, and it's an honor to have him on here. When times like this happen where we get these special guests in here, it's pretty awesome. And you guys know that I hate to call it an interview because it's not really an interview. It's more or less just, you know, like, hey, let's hang out, just have a good time, have a couple of drinks, just shoot, oh shit, and just shoot the shit, you know, hang out, just have fun. Like someone's ripped my headset off. Deetra, what's going on? Deetra, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Michael Diaz, what's going on? Michael Diaz. Growler, what's going on? Growler. Jamini, Torture, Yuki, not so saying what's going on. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for stopping. I appreciate you being here. Bluegrass, how you doing? Exhausted Pigeon, love the name. Love the name. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you guys for being here. But everything's going well for you guys today. If you guys haven't, if you guys can, make sure you guys smash that like button, share this channel, and everyone know to join this goddamn community and have a goddamn good time. Don't forget, join up on Discord too. And don't forget, we also do have a zero tolerance policy. If you're an asshole, you get banned. That's simple. No strikes, no warnings, just gone. Mr. Deluxe, what's going on, Mr. Deluxe? How you doing? Matthew, what's going on, Matthew? Sorry if I missed anybody. Sorry if I did miss anybody at all. Not So Saying, gifting the one membership to Biscuit. Thank you very much, Not So Saying, for the gift of membership. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Welcome, Biscuit. Welcome to the community. You now have access to member-only videos. Thank you guys for stopping in. You guys all rock. By the way, you guys kick some ass. So, does anyone know who Hefe is? Appreciate the gift, man. Shadow PV, what's going on, Shadow PV? How you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Hope all is well. By the way, if you guys are into first-person shooters, as in Farlight 84 and or Warzone, go check out Not So Sane on Kick.com. It is Not So Sane 187 at Kick.com. He has an amazing community behind him as well. Awesome first-person shooter content creator. Know the name, not the player. Good afternoon. Double freaking port swap. Yeah, Yuki. Yes. Chewy, what's going on, Chewy? How you doing, Chewy? Thank you for stopping in, my lovely Chewy. By the way, if you guys don't know who Chewy is, Chewy's a legend. Hold on, where'd it go? Chewy is one of my favorite people in this entire game. Chewy's one of my favorite goddamn people. So Chewy, that's for you. Chewy's my R5, aka Mikasa. The R5 of evil. Jihad, how you doing? Catherine, how you doing? Big guy from 162. Yes, he is. What's going on, Kajim? How you doing? Thank you for stopping in. Goddamn right. He says, goddamn right. I love it. I love you, Chew. I do. Oh, man. So, yeah, we're going to bring in El Hefe here shortly. We'll bring him in here shortly. How you doing? Fletcher. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Let me go talk to El Hefe real quick. See if he's ready to get things going. Oh, there he is. You're good, bro. Good, bro. We're gonna have to turn this music down so we can hear El Hefe today. So yeah, give me a minute. I'm gonna get El Hefe to hop into my Discord real quick, and we're gonna get things going. Now remember, this is not a goddamn interview. This is just a hangout, have fun, just pick his brain and we'll see what he thinks about Evony and how things are going. What's going on, El Hefe? How you doing, my man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, my man. Thank you for asking. I gotta say thank you so much for just coming in here and hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Always happy to join your channel. You got a good channel going here, so.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for that.
What's going on tonight? What are you guys up to? You're running Yimmers?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's running mirrors right now, at least trying to, without them getting stolen, that is. How about you guys?
Yeah, just doing some all-star prep, but not been in a whole lot today. A little bit of Yimmers here and there, but being outside of Vent, they're a little slow on the map, so.
Yeah, do you guys go around and clear all the level 1s and 2s?
We don't. Typically, we're just doing the 5s and 6s and 4s, and then we'll move down to the 3s if we need them, but.
Yeah, they need to up their game with those Ymers, man. They really do.
Oh yeah, they especially outside of the event though. They don't tend to spawn that much. We have tried to do the 1s and the 2s before, but it didn't seem to make much difference. So.
Yeah, we usually have our alts go out and kill the 1s and 2s. Whether it makes a difference or not, I don't know, but
it feels good though.
Yeah, at least you get something on your alts at least.
Sure.
So
wait, who has alts? You're not allowed to have alts.
I mean,
actually, I don't have any anymore.
Oh no, you all done with those?
Well, not by choice, but yeah, we had some removed from our server, so it was a rough day.
Yeah, I forget what server it was, but I heard there was like 60 accounts banned, alts and mains recently.
Yeah, there's been a lot of servers that keep getting hit as well. I know over and over again. There's a few that. There's one guy in particular I've seen. He's got his own little farm. He usually has 30 to 40 of them just going.
Castles.
And he's got his removed 3 or 4 times now, and once it was one day after the next. So I'm not sure why he doesn't get the main doesn't get deleted, but it's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's crazy how sometimes Evony decides to just have a blind eye to certain players.
Yeah.
Mr. El Hefe, I mean, I've heard before we originally spoke, like I've heard of your name a bunch. I suck at going through YouTube and like looking at people.
Well, you got enough to do keeping yours going, so.
Right? And by the way, you have a goddamn good voice, man. I mean that like very respectfully. You got a good voice for this shit.
Wow. Well, you do too.
Thanks, man. So, all right. So this is Mr. El Hefe, and I've heard a lot about you prior to us talking like initially, but I didn't like research who you were. And after checking out some of your videos, I gotta say, for one, like you seem like a pretty awesome dude, and you make some pretty damn good content, and you have an amazing team that seems to enjoy Evony. Like, how long have you been playing Evony?
I hate to say I've been playing way too long. I would say that for sure. I think it was a Super Bowl. I believe it was Patriots and it was Patriots and Falcons, I think. So 7 years, going on 7 years, coming up in February here. Commercial came on. I thought, wow, this is really cool. I forget the actor's name, but there used to be these big name actors in the commercials. It wasn't Puzzles. but it was these guys going over the wall and all this exciting stuff. I gotta check it out. So after that Super Bowl, I started playing, and yeah, so 7 years about.
No kidding. A long time. I mean, I'm kind of jealous. I wish I was playing that long.
You really don't. You really don't.
No, I thoroughly enjoy this game, even with all its BS it has going on behind the scenes sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. I've recently been taking break. We've got a lot of team members that have quit the game. Some are back and forth between different servers. It's been getting kind of rough on our server, but yeah, overall, you know, it's definitely keeps your attention, especially things like All Stars and other stuff. So
yeah, what's your favorite part about the game? Is it the battlefields, like All Stars or Shaolins?
I'm sorry, the favorite part or the?
Yeah, like what's your favorite part of the game? I mean, what keeps you playing? Out of curiosity, for so long.
You know, it's been the people. Honestly, the people have been the thing that keeps me here. When I started, I was on server 27, and I really did. I was the old guy in the group. I showed up. There was all these young, millennials playing, and I was pretty quiet. Didn't talk much, but I did learn a lot. I listened. I followed directions pretty well as an old guy. So, just played along with these guys, and they taught me a ton about it. We had a lot of fun playing. I played there for about 4 years, three and a half years or something like that. We went through a couple server merges. It basically got to the point where the game got stagnated. So this was back when K35 was max, actually K30, going into K35.
No kidding. Wow.
So when I was K35 for about 6 months, there just wasn't much else to do. We got kind of bored with Battlefields, and people were leaving and going to other servers. So I decided to check out another server. Got over to 162, and Freudian slip there. I do play in 176 as well from time to time. But yeah, so I found 162, a bunch of new people, really excited about the game. They wanted to learn. Just a lot of fun. So ended up staying there, and I've been there since. But yeah, still a lot of friends back. They're actually server 50 now. If you're keeping track of all the mergers there. My old 27 is server 50 now.
Server 50, huh? I mean, those server merges, any idea what triggers those to happen?
There's been a lot of debates over the years, and I think it really is inactivity. I think it's people that aren't, you just don't have the keeps, the sizes, and frankly the cash being spent. I have a feeling that's part of it as well. But I think they keep it a little bit of a mystery, because I think if there was a recipe, I think most people would try to cook it up so they could get a merge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know other than that. I have seen over the years, there's been some suspicious ones where some popular streamers and popular players somehow magically got merged with some super, and creating some super teams that, I think for a while created some good content. But, so who knows? Who knows how these things really happen? But all I know is I need one bad, really bad.
You can always smash together my server, your server. I think that'd work out great.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to join you guys. Yeah, we got a good group of people still, but it's gotten a little bit redundant, and Battlefields are kind of getting a little bit stale. We do look forward to Shaolins and All Stars and those things, but yeah. So
yeah, there's so much to go over. Like I kind of just want to pick your brain. I know. Like I don't want this to be like an interview type thing. Like I just want to hang out and talk about Evony. But you're an experienced player. You've been around for basically ever. So you kind of know a lot about what's going on. I'm sorry, man. I'll make sure to leave that part out.
I either get called old or really slow, something like that. But no, go ahead. But yeah, no. Let's hang out. We'll whatever you want to talk about. I'm good.
Okay, see, this is why I hate the terminology interview, because I have zero questions lined up. Like whatever just comes to mind is generally what I ask.
Perfect.
So shit, I don't even know. I mean, you're a goddamn 50 bill, man. You're an animal. What the hell?
Yeah, I did get fat there, which I think paid off. I always told people, buffs are really important, but I figure if I can send more troops in more rallies than you've got troops, I don't care what your buffs are. I might have to hit you twice, but but no, it's worked out well for me. Yeah, size does matter here.
Size does matter. I like that. Damn.
But yeah, the one thing I will tell you, I saw a question actually on I joined your Discord today. Somebody was asking about soul binding, and it's something I actually didn't bother looking at all. I don't know if you've done much with it, or
I have not
done a video on it or anything, but I finally looked at it last night to try to figure out, hey, what should I be doing, if anything? I've got a few of the stones, but didn't really know, what to do with them. I think somebody was asking about how does it work on a sub-gen, and I think basically in a nutshell, not to hijack your questions, but one of the things I figured out last night was really the only thing it actually does is takes the base stats and takes the specialty stats from that other general. So if you've got a fully spec'd gold general, it actually just transfers those over to that general. So if you're going to bind it to a sub-gen, you're obviously going to have the specs done on your sub-gen. It's also going to take the base stats, which don't really matter in a sub-gen. And it's also going to take, basically those specs are the thing that it's going to grab from that general that you're binding it to. So it is effective to add it to a sub-gen.
Hey, thank you for clarifying that. So, we have a couple of questions in chat, if you don't mind answering them. I guess
sure.
That's somewhere to start. I'm pretty sure they're curious about you. So far, we have someone named Ryan. He said, Hefe, did Lion really quit? The heart.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He's down in the lower corner there. You'll see down in the bottom there on our in our AC there, our hive there. You see that rabbit keeps his there at the bottom. He's actually quit. And I will tell you here, not to break Evony rules, but he is actually going to play my keep tomorrow in All Stars because I'm going to be on an airplane. So he is actually one of our main setters, despite the fact that he's not 20 bill and I'm 50 bill. He in all of our battlefields, he typically is our main setter. He's an animal. He nonstop sets. He knows what to do. He knows when to set, when to wait. He's a very good setter, and he's very passionate about the game. So over the years, him and I have been a pretty good team. Certainly as we go through challenges and things, we're both setting and trying to coordinate on the rallies. But a really great guy. He is just taking a little break. I hope it's a break. Honestly, he said he's quit, but I hope to keep him interested in the game somehow. Suck him back in somehow.
It always sucks losing somebody that you're pretty close to and you just vibe with very well.
Yeah. He's definitely a huge part of our team and really what makes it a lot of fun for me. Whether that's on calls or just chewing the fat about stuff. So.
Right, man. The relationships are amazing in this game, and I think that's what keeps a lot of people going. Is the relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to answer this, but someone did ask, are you a big coiner, or have you built slowly over all the years?
No. I will say I'm probably a big coiner. I'm not the biggest coiner, honestly, though. I'm pretty efficient coiner, if I can be so bold. I do have a number of historic subs, but, so obviously you got to coin to get those. But no, I definitely am a coiner. But when I look at my sort of tactically how I do my coining versus, somebody that's gonna max out every day, and I'm not that kind of a coiner. Everybody's got mortgages to pay and things, so.
Yeah, those damn mortgages, man.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm definitely have spent money in the game. And I know, as you've done in the past, you were an Aptoid rep as well. I did that for a while, so got a little bit of money from that. And basically what I did with that money was kind of turned it back into the game just to...
No kidding, huh?
Some of it, yeah, just to... what are you going to do? Might as well have some more fun.
I took a little bit, I think I definitely got overpaid with them. But, I definitely caught up on some things that needed to be caught up on. Due to Evony, actually, but we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, not to get too personal, right?
Let's see. The Tay says he is the master coiner. What's up, Tay?
Oh, Tay, yeah. Tay's a beast.
Oh, my God, yeah.
He's a master coiner as well.
Don't let him fool you. What else we got? What was SVS like before K40 update?
Well, SVS didn't have T1 traps. I'll tell you that. You T1 trap crazy guys weren't all over the place, so that I didn't have to worry about as much. But
Sorry about that.
I know, no, it's good. I like to complain about them, but I do respect them. I do respect a good T1 trap when I splat on one. So
That's good to hear.
yeah. So yeah, SVS was it was a lot of fun, but again, that kind of got stale too. I mean, it turned into how many times can I go over to a temple, and people are starting to get smarter about unbubbling, and people are using alts, and it got a little bit stale. I think they've added, back when I started, they didn't have temples. They didn't have, a lot of the things they've added. So they've definitely tried to do things to make it more interesting. But like right now, if you're not, I've gone, I think the last 3 SVSs unbubbled. Sleeping.
Did you really?
Actually, the last one I didn't because we did a throne truce, but I was playing against, actually, we were playing against, what's his name? Big guy from your continent. Oh my god.
What do you got? You got Tay, you got Alamere.
Somebody remind me in chat who I was playing.
Do you remember what server?
Oh, J-Dubs. It was J-Dubs, and yeah, I don't know if you know J-Dubs, but he's got a killer keep, and there was 2 K44s basically, and we were like, yeah, we could duke it out, but what's the point? Oh, Foxy guy.
What's up, Fox? Do you have chat open right now?
I do. I'm watching.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, oh man, so like I know I
SVS
regretted that SVS glitch where you could port to any server.
Oh yeah.
Did you have any fun with that at all?
Oh yeah. So there's another streamer who released some information. I think she does some singing.
Oh, Baby Bear, dude, she's freaking awesome,
Baby
man.
She's great. Yeah, she's great. She released some info on Meatman. So that actual day, Meatman, myself, and Son Goku, he's another streamer as well. That weekend, we spent about 16, 18 hours just bopping around other servers, smashing people.
Dude, I love it.
And I've got it all on video. We started streaming like for the first 45 minutes until we figured out, ooh, this is a really bad thing. We can't tell people about this.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop us from 16 hours of fun. And Meatman actually scored 25 billion points that SVS.
Oh my god.
So
wow.
Bob the Destroyer still is upset and cannot figure out how Meatman overtook them in SVS, and they just couldn't figure out how they were getting points. They were so good on their bubble control, but Meatman still found a way to beat him. Didn't realize he was on all these other servers.
It happens,
Yeah, even after that, the following weekend, the bug they thought they fixed, it still wasn't fixed. I mean, we were able to do things like you could actually port to the same coordinates on your enemy server that you were playing SVS against and hit another server. Basically, you were invisible on the enemy servers. And so you could actually hit your enemy server. Like if I was on fighting against server 50 in my SVS, I port over to server 110, but the same coordinates were actually active on that server 50 who I was playing against.
Okay.
So I would basically find coordinates of people around temples. I would go to an enemy server that wasn't the one we were playing. I wouldn't go to our enemy SVS server.
God.
And I would hit an alt there, and it would actually translate to hitting it on their actual enemy server. I mean, they could not figure out how they were getting hit. It was unbelievable.
Thank God that didn't go viral, dude.
No, it was. I mean, thank God, and also like we would not have had as much fun. I guarantee they would shut things down a lot sooner. But I was so surprised on that second weekend that it still wasn't fixed. It was 2 weeks later, and they still hadn't had it completely fixed. I know they shut it down. People couldn't port over, but we found a way to actually still do some porting. So yeah, someday maybe I'll compile that, edit that video. But
yeah, when you find shit like that, make sure you let me know. I'm a vault bro. I won't tell anybody.
Right. It was gold. I mean, we could have been streaming forever that day, but
That's
yeah,
awesome,
we chose
man.
not to kill everybody.
Yeah, we ended up. I took my K35 and ported it to my C3 server, and my own alliance member just saw a red keep and hit it. That went pretty bad for them because it was my T1 trap, and then
Oops.
And then once I found out what happened, my whole server from 529 ended up porting to my C5 server, and it created so much mayhem. It was a lot of fun.
See, you told people couldn't figure out where I was. They kept finding me. I'm like, I don't see you. It's okay. So it's probably a bug on your end. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I live streamed it too because like I found out I did, and like Baby Bear stopped in and she took a recording of me doing it, and it was it was a lot of fun. It was. It made some great content that weekend. For sure.
Sure.
I mean, I think I streamed it for about, it was like an hour or 2 hours in that time frame. Then I kind of said, all right, you know, I can't be promoting this for everybody to do.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was, we did keep it to ourselves. And yeah, I definitely should put a compilation together. I think people will get a kick out of it. I know Foxy Guy was saying here, I had a bunch of people on our Discord server and they were all in the chat and they're listening to us talk about it. And
what's up, Samantha? How you doing?
Pork Me is another guy. He decided he was our attorney. He said we couldn't tell everybody, so.
In-game attorneys, you gotta love it. Have them on retainer.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a great weekend. If they did that again, we need to find some more bugs. Meatman and I were just talking about it today. So
actually, speaking of bugs, I mean, you know, with your experience in Evony, you know, I'm not gonna say it in any other terms. What are the most interesting bugs that you've come across so far?
Probably the most interesting, we used to call it ghost rains.
What's up, hashtag?
So
how you doing?
we'd figure
Fox,
out they had an issue with their
Who knows what's
basically
up?
how they'd done rains. Basically what happened was you could send multiple rains to a keep and then also port. So what we would do is we'd fill somebody up with rains and then they would port over to a temple. They'd get scouted, and this is back when, you know, your 400 million power was your biggest guy in your keep.
Wow.
And so you land next to someone or next to their hive. They'd scout you and think, oh, he doesn't have any rains, I'm just going to solo him. Well, as soon as they'd hit him, they'd figure out that they had, you know, back in the day, 8 million rains. That was a lot. That was a lot. But it was ghost.
I didn't see the marches, man.
Yeah. So what would happen was you landed a keep in one spot. Everybody would send a march. When those marches were on their way, all the guy had to do was port out and port another keep in, and that keep would then get the rains. Okay. It was the way they had done the rain. It was basically because you used not to be able to even rain keeps. That wasn't a thing.
Oh, wow.
And I think they made some change at some point when they were adding in more functionality and basically screwed it up. So, but for the longest time, we called them ghost rains, and people couldn't figure out how we were moving with rains, and they couldn't see the rains. Man. Yeah. So that was a pretty, again, all these fun things when you do find the glitches, you try to keep them to yourself as much as you can, but you can't help but share and have more fun.
Yeah, no, I see. After my last rundown with the whole teleport glitch thing, you know, I've learned, all right, use it, you know, like off camera, but then share it afterward.
Yeah. There's also been a few, I don't know if you've ever stacked keeps.
No.
So if you had a bunch of alts, you could actually, do you know how they added in the timer for, well, that's actually a different bug, but you basically, all you'd have to do if you had a synchronize, say you're using like BlueStacks and you could hit your sync feature across your alts, and you basically set them all to land in the same spot. The timing was off and there was a lag on the servers. You could actually port them all on top of each other.
No kid, I gotta try that now just because.
You can't do it anymore.
Well, I have to wait for an update, then I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah, keep trying it. We got basically you're a tester now.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a cool one. And then you could actually port off the one that was on top. You'd port them off, and then they would sit there. The rest of the 20 that were sitting there would actually be invisible, so people couldn't figure out why they couldn't land in that spot. Yeah, that was another good one.
I missed all the good stuff.
That made hive spots. Remember before we used to have smaller hives, and you couldn't fit all your keeps in to get the advantage, even though the size of your alliance wasn't that big, but you literally had not enough real estate, so we used to just stack keeps.
That's freaking awesome. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things like that over the years.
So I wanted to pick your brain real quick. I know someone earlier mentioned that you've been in dev calls before. Is that true?
Yeah. Yep, I've been in a couple. The last one I was probably more involved than I'd been in any of the other ones. But yeah, I was in the last dev call. I think I'd put a stream out on it. Actually, I live streamed it when it was going on.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
So would you mind elaborating on that a little bit? I mean, I personally haven't seen any live streams on it, videos on it. I mean, what is it like to be in a dev call? I mean, do the devs actually sit there and listen to you guys?
They really shouldn't call it a dev call. I mean, it's a PR call basically. Yeah, I'd like to believe that they did start taking it more seriously. They actually created spreadsheets and they would, put down the concerns, although it was in their version of the concerns. And in some cases, they didn't actually understand the player perspective of that concern, but they would at least try and they would at least follow up. And they did implement some things. And I do think they are effective. I just don't think they were as quick and probably as ineffective use of your time to try to get them to change things, because ultimately, and I hate to say it, but it does come down to the money. Right. I mean, they want to make money. So some of the things that we suggested, yeah. But yeah, so they were good calls, but it was basically the last one was supposedly an actual dev. I don't believe that it was.
It was an imposter.
An imposter, yeah. He did a better job of at least understanding, and we tried to direct him on in the questions and tried to actually get him to be able to answer. In the past, sometimes it's basically an open call. So there's, I don't remember, 25 people on it, and you got a bunch of people bringing things up about their alliance and a bug, and how do we do silly things. It wasn't really sort of game-wide issues. They were talking about something in their alliance or something they'd sent to CS. It's like, well, who really cares? I mean, do we really want to listen to this person try to explain their bug? We actually want to talk about game issues. So this last one, there was really a lot of experienced and knowledgeable people about the game that were actually talking. And actually, Genghis got on it at one point and was talking, and he had some good points. Mr. Serious, or I think it just goes by Serious. I get you and him messed up, but yeah, he came on and did a lot of good, had a lot of good feedback. So basically, we were just trying to give feedback and talk a little bit more directly about the player perspective. So yeah, it was a good one.
How often does this
happen? I think they've had 3 or 4 over the years. I don't know if it's an annual thing or they just do it when there's issues. I just remember they had one right before, I think it was K40 release. It was like 3 months later that they assured us they weren't going to be releasing K40, and then K40 showed up.
Sorry to cut you off there. Is Yellow Blue in chat? Is that?
Oh yeah, that's Yellow Lion. Oh yeah.
No kidding, huh? What an honor to have him in here. Indeed.
See. I knew we could suck him back in. He's only paying attention now because he's playing All Stars tomorrow. So we're gonna keep him playing.
That's the plan, right? You just gonna be like, hey man, listen, I get a trip next weekend. If you don't mind, can you be a family member for the weekend?
That's right. He's great dude. In fact, I had him over. I don't know if you've ever. Well, let's not get into all that. But I had him over once. He actually visited me in person once. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
No kidding. That's awesome. I've always wanted. Yeah. We've been trying to plan a trip. Me and a few players. I don't want to put them on blast right now. Or plan out, but we've been trying to plan a trip to Vegas for months now. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And that's kind of what we're.
See. What happens in Evony stays in Evony, right? I mean,
exactly. I mean, unless you're live streaming, that is, I get access to like 5 big guys' accounts. Oh boy.
Yeah, he's gonna if you want to do a good freedom stream, you just call YOLO and tell him to pull up all these accounts and have them. And I will tell you, Lion is the only person ever to have access to my account. So I've never given anybody access to my account. So
That's an honor right there.
He's probably deleting shit right now. Or maybe tomorrow after, or Saturday after All-Star. So
one thing I wanted to say real quick was, you know, I know you mentioned Genghis, and, you know, I've had Genghis on stream before too, and, you know, he has a pretty solid community, and someone made a comment.
For sure.
Genghis, which I don't mind. But, you know, it seems like Genghis gets a lot of hate for the way that he talks, but honestly, like, at the end of the day, whether you like him or not like him, like, he does support the players. I think with his content, you know, he does kind of explain things for the players that don't understand what the hell they're logging into, and they can kind of pull up his stuff and say, okay, all right, this is what's going on, I know how to do it. And
yeah, he definitely has a lot of experience, and he does have a big community. He's got a lot of people. He puts out, you know, a video a day. I'll give him a lot of credit just for that. I know you put out a lot of videos. You're streaming a lot. You've got a lot of great content. I never, honestly, I got into streaming our battlefields for fun. It was more, you know, as a group, we just had so much fun. We wanted to, you know, put it out there and laugh about it. We'd go back and watch them.
Dude, you have some pretty badass freaking battlefields, man. Like, I enjoyed listening to you guys just be you guys. You know, like, you weren't putting on a front. You guys were just, it's a group of friends having a good time, you know? And
yeah. That's always what it's been.
Worth it.
Yeah. In fact, that's always what it's been. And when it wasn't that fun, that's when people started getting, you know, bored with it and moving on. So, yeah, we tried out a lot of fun. So I get back to Genghis. I mean, he does do a good job of putting out content. You know, I think he takes a little bit of an angle sometimes. I know others have mentioned this on their videos, and other streamers have talked about him. And like you said, I don't want to badmouth anybody, but he tends to get a little bit traumatic and a little bit fear-based. That's fine. That's kind of, he's not wrong in a lot of cases. Just the way he does it sometimes is a little annoying to me. But I still love you, Genghis.
Yeah, it's everyone's different, you know. I mean, in how they express themselves, and just got to accept that, basically, in my opinion. But it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. No, everybody's got their own way of doing things.
As far as like my content goes, dude, like, I don't really consider it content. Like, I literally just, like, I work a full day's work. I work 8-12 hours, whatever it is. I hang out with the family for a little bit. I come down here and they're like, all right, let's just go live and kind of see what happens. And I just type in a random ass freaking title for the day. I mean, honestly,
sure.
You know,
yeah.
I don't take the time to research events or civ gear or generals or anything like that. You know, I just want to hang out and talk to people, you know?
No, it's good. Like I said, everybody does a different sort of approach to it. Some people are doing just flat. They want to give information. They want to, you know, do tutorials. They want to do all these other things. And I've done a few of those. But it takes a lot of time, as you know, to splice video and put in content, update things, get all the right information. I mean, I do give these guys a lot of credit that are taking the time to do that stuff. So.
Oh, for sure, man. Sure. I mean, I would definitely like to see you go live more, man. Especially after checking out some of your videos. I would thoroughly enjoy to see you more. I would. Make sure you guys go follow.
I appreciate
Hefe,
that.
Right?
I do like doing it. I have a lot of fun. I actually, honestly, the most fun times I've had is doing keep reviews. You know, I'll basically share. We'll get on the Discord together, and I'll share a screen, and they'll share their screen, and we'll step through, you know, their keeps and talk about what they're trying to do and what their role is. And those have been a lot of fun. I think those have been helpful. You can kind of give out information on the game and how to do things that really isn't about. I tend to think some of these videos turn into, here's exactly the general you have to get, and here's the, you know, the buff exactly you have to get, and the troop count you need, and da-da-da. And they think it's like a recipe for success. And there's just so many ways to do things in the game, and so many things that are different on each keep, that you can't really just put one video out to say, here's how you'll be good at the game, right? So I find that those videos are really helpful because it's just a random person that doesn't have every general in the book, but the generals they do have, we can talk about why they might use certain generals, why they might, you know, use certain books on those generals, those kind of things, just general information. And yeah, we're helping that person out, but I think there's people watching that, you know, might tie into some of that same information.
Right. I mean, everyone's got their own way of doing things. And some people are capable of getting some generals, not others.
Yeah, the spending versus non-spenders, that kind of thing.
Right. And Tay's asking a very important question right now, Hefe. You know, he wants to know when you're going to do a keep review of him.
Jesus. Tay, you know, as much as I think I could help you out, I'm not sure a review of your keep would actually help anyone out. Now, that said, if you're willing to grant them, you know, your credit card, maybe a loan, I really think it could be beneficial because, yeah, frankly, I think you have everything. I'm probably safe to say that you just have everything on that keep, I'm guessing, but maybe not.
He's pretty damn close, just saying.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
You know, I've been trying to get Tay to buy me a cake forever now. He just won't do it for some reason. I don't get it.
Even a pie, just like a pie.
Yeah.
Half a cake.
Tay's a great dude. I mean, have you actually like gotten to know Tay at all by any chance?
Yeah, you know, I have not gotten to know him. No, I haven't been on a stream or been on chats with him, but you know, been on Discord and chatting with him a little bit. We've never been in, obviously, in All Stars together. We're in different continents, but no, a lot of respect for him. I think he's always been a straight shooter. He, yeah, everything I know about him, he's a good dude.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. I mean, I've hung out with him handful of times in Discord. I've played BOG with him, either BOG or BOC. He invited me over, and honestly, his understanding of the game it's kind of memorizing in a sense. You know, if that makes any sense to you, of how his play style of running Battlefield, it's really good. Yeah,
yeah. Well, it's great. No, you can learn a lot from these guys. There's a lot of them. I shouldn't say a lot of them. Some of them aren't as quite as nice as Tay, and they get big and strong and mean. They got a lot of egos out there, but you know that's their deal too. So
that is so goddamn true. Like I hate to say shit like that. You know, I'm not gonna say any names, but there's so many players. You're right, man. Like they get this ego for being just so big inside the game, and they just become assholes. And I mean, it's crazy. Like you, Tay, even Genghis. I had Genghis on here too. You know, he's a bigger guy, and you guys are such genuine people. That's why I like hanging out with you guys and just kind of getting to know you. Is you're not freaking hate saying
we're real people. I mean, I think that's what some people do. They get into these games and they forget that there's real people on the other end. They got feelings, they got lives, they got other things going on. It's not just about the game, you know, it's about the relationships and about meeting people and having fun, and you don't have to be an asshole.
That's true, Hefe, man. I got a lot of respect for you, man. I've only known you for a couple of weeks, but I got a lot of respect for you.
Hey, thanks.
The ones with my egos are my favorite to get to splat on me. That is true.
Yeah. That'd be the reason I should make a T1 trap, just to trap them.
You should. I've been messing around with the T1 trap, my C5 server, and I've been tossing on like the most ridiculous generals, and it's the funnest thing to get scouted when you have a level 1 gray Betty on your wall and just watch a K41 splat against you.
I do love your videos with the I watched the one where you have, I forget, it was Robin Hood, and that is actually an old joke. We used to throw Robin. It's so funny you chose Robin Hood too. We used to choose Robin Hood. That's like one of the oldest tavern generals ever, and we used to put it on the wall again as a troll on a scout, and then we'd flip in our regular wall gen to try to get take a hit. But the fact that you're doing it as a T1 trap just shows what you know about the game, because it really doesn't matter. It's nice to have all these great top generals, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It comes down to your buffs. It comes down to your setup,
Monty, your
troop mix. All these things actually play a role in it, not just that one guy that's got 5% more than the next.
Right. I actually, I mean, you can call me a troll, which I don't know if I'm being a troll or not, but like I go to the Evony main Facebook page and I'll post on their stupid questions. And the most recent one was, I posted a picture of a guy sitting at a table, and on his poster board it said T1 traps don't require any specific general, or the general doesn't matter. I forget what I put, and under it says change my mind. And it's crazy to see everyone's opinions on it and how like emotional they get, and like I'd say it was split 50-50. Half the people would say it honestly doesn't matter if you're a T1 trap specifically. And the other half are very adamant about, you need to have William Marshall, you need to have Queen Bee, you need to have this certain general in order to make a T1 trap work. And I'm not going on there, trying to blow up their spot. I never really reply to people what's going on, but I do it for general information of what just the Evony community thinks, and kind of maybe new things that I can try in game.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, I've been out on that channel, and there's such a variety of people out there, and knowledge levels and such, but it is good to go out there and just kind of see their ideas and the way they actually think about the game, because some of it's just plain wrong, but I don't know, you can't fix the world.
Nope, you definitely can't.
But I would call you a troll. Trolling's like part of the game, and it makes a lot of fun.
It does. It definitely does. As long as you understand what you're doing, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Indeed.
So, you just changed your keep. I mean, so you've been playing for your. All right, so you're. I'm just gonna keep it as you're an experienced player. Do you have like a memorable moment in Evony, whether it's like All Stars or Challenge, that you revert back to, like when you're having a bad day in Evony, do you have like one of those moments or memories where you're like, all right, I remember this time.
Wow.
And it keeps me going.
Does it involve a girl, or does it involve? No, I'm teasing.
I'll leave that.
Sound like we're going on a date there for a minute. But...
Oh man, shit. Let's see here. A nostalgia moment,
Yeah. No, I actually think one of my I've had tons of memorable moments on 162. We've had so much fun here. Like, great crew here. I love the hose. All those guys, everything's awesome here. But I will say one of my most memorable was when I was getting off server 50, and I actually just had created a keep on 162, but I'd gone back for a throne war, and this wasn't a throne war during SVS. This was two biggest alliances on the servers, and this was, I don't know, it's gonna sound like we're bragging and all this stuff, but we were, I think, number 2 SVS server for like 2 years straight, and our alliance was number 1, number 2 on that server. We had an awesome server. We really did. Had a lot of experience, a lot of really good players, a lot of fun. But anyway, we had a server war against that other alliance to get the throne, and we finally, we went back, and it's like some of the new school ones where everybody's just kind of smashing on each other, and it was like that. It was a really big moment for a throne war, and it was the first time we actually went head to head and didn't want to trade, and we just had a lot of fun. It was a huge day, really, really, really fun. That's and awesome. we capped it and got it. But yeah, hey, it's things like that. You kind of go back to those.
Right. Any other questions for Hefe?
I gotta remind Lion to pop this when everybody's dying, and we need some HP for the rest of the gang around you.
Lion, you better be listening, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Tip there.
Yuki asked, "Have you played NME, Hefe?" I don't know what NME is.
I think yes, we have. Let me look.
Oh, is that Alliance?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look here on our battle logs. Probably lost, but we've been losing a lot lately. It's so sad. I'm sure we have. I don't. I think if he told me some of the keeps in that alliance, I might remember.
Tay wants to know: are the hoes recruiting? The recruiting hoes?
If you can, we would take you any day. Tay, I've got 69 keeps that you can play on.
Damn.
You could buy Lions keep.
You can just 10 grand too.
See? Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. So Sus wants to know. Okay, so I'm gonna rephrase this question a little bit here. Ask Hefe. Does he know of anyone knowing finessing customer support? Example, gutting a keep decoration, a bunch of speed ups, a bunch of mark speed ups, dragon eggs, etc.
Not really. Persistence. They're a good girl. She
what's going on?
I think after every issue that comes out, she'll send a mail. She gets the best rewards from customer service. Persistency is, I think, the key there. I think you just keep asking, and you bat those eyes, whatever you got to do to get those rewards. But it is getting kind of crazy. You get done with All Stars, and there's lag, and people are getting eggs, and I get some of that. I mean, there are some legit reasons to be, compensated for things, but it gets taken advantage of, and I think that becomes hard for everybody to stomach. You know, you got people that really didn't deserve it. They're on the 4th place team and they finished 25th on their team, and somehow they got an egg. You know, I don't know, because they didn't make it, into the next round or whatever. I think some of those things get crazy, but yeah, I think persistency and yeah. Although I've seen both. Meat Man is classic for, I don't know if you know who Meat Man is, 231.
I've heard of him a lot, but I don't know him specifically.
He was on Baby Bear's stream, did the whole porting over, getting the 25 billion. He is classic for sending really raunchy, tons of swear words, and gets what he wants. I think he got a general the other day that he didn't have in his. Oh, there she is. So good girl. She's just nice.
I'm just nice to them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think different tactics for different folks. I've seen it all work. At this point, I think they're just happy to keep all the customers. So I do think, complain a little, you might get a little something back.
I've tried complaining, man. It doesn't work for me. Like I don't have that switch to where like I don't have that authority or that demeanor to be like an asshole to customer support. I try, and they're just like, here you go. Here's 2 24-hour speed ups. Go, thanks.
Yeah, I found that it's so, you have to spend so much time doing the mails and following up and being persistent. By the time you get the reward, you've kind of forgotten about it, moved on. If I thought they were going to actually, like, I would put in bug reports. I would help out with issues that I see, or give suggestions if I thought they were actually going to do anything with them. Half the time, they don't even know what you're talking about. Based on the responses. Now I've had some good ones too, so just kind of depends on who you get, and that's really the hard part, is depends on who you get in customer service.
Yeah, some of them care, some of them don't. So I got a personal question for you, right? So
oh boy.
No, it's not bad. It's not personal towards you. It's my own question. So like I started playing Evony just over a year. I've been playing for like a year and 2 months, right? So I started on C5, and I ended up going to C3 with Evil. And I've never experienced All-Stars before. This is my first All-Stars push, and I made it into Elite because of the new ruling, unfortunately. But would you have any suggestions for me heading into All-Stars for the first time?
Let me look you up here. What are you? Which group are you in? You're in the Elite?
Yeah, I'm in Elite on C3.
Yep.
Group D.
C3, Group D. And what team?
The Bears.
Good Bears.
I don't have the heftiness as you. I wish I had the 50 bill behind me, but I just.
Yeah, but you're 11-8. You're right. You're up there though. It's all relative, right? I mean, you guys are up against a 26, 25. But that's you're on a solid team. All I would say is that I would make sure you have good communication. I think the worst thing that happens, I don't know if you guys are in a line group together. Most teams put a line group out and they start to try to coordinate.
Yeah.
Are you doing that already? Okay.
Yeah, so actually right before this stream I was in call for probably about I'd say like 45 minutes with a handful of players. Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, no, there's some good people in there. With Bad Kitty and all that stuff. She's a good player. And
I would say communication's key. My suggestion to you is making sure that everyone understands going into it who's the setter and setters, coordination of those setters, little details like, I don't want to give away all the secrets, but I mean, these aren't secrets.
I can mute you for a minute. That's fine.
No. These aren't secrets. People do this now, but I think little things like the rally setters, who are going to be potential rally setters, change to a color decoration for their chat, so that it's real obvious who's setting and that there's a rally up as opposed to a sharing of coordinates. Things like that. Not a lot of extraneous talking going on. I know that sounds mean, but people are trying to call out. Somebody's got marches out. It's a 10 bill. Let's, get a rally going. Things like that. So I think communication is really the key going into All Stars. And just listening. And this is your first one?
Yeah, this is my first one. I've made it to finals and challenge. But I don't think that's going to be the same as All Stars. You're not with a team that you're you're comfortable with. You know, you're not used to the what I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah, you're not familiar with how they're going to do things or what they might be capable of. I get it.
copacetic is that a word I'm looking for?
Copacetic could be. Not sure if we're using it the right way, but yeah, based on your size and who you're up against here, you should do pretty well. And now what I would say is that for prep, I mean, what you got to think about for All Stars is you want to play that entire 2 hours. So whether that's you're going to do a little bit of healing on those troops that you'd normally join rallies with. I think that's important to be prepped on the right troops. Say generally that's T13s. You want to have that as your largest volume because it's really about the number of rallies that you can send and join is going to really give you those points. And yeah, taking some hits. But for the most part, with the rally sizes the way they are these days, just moving is the key. Now they did add the twist.
I hope we see each other in All Stars.
Once you fall below, and I'm gonna release it here. We call it in our line group. Hashtag the Bob rule. When you are under 20 ports for your team, once you port 3 times, you're locked for 3 minutes. That's a huge deal because what happened was people would port lock their entire team when they got mad. This may or may not have happened to a 20 bill guy that got zeroed 1 tap in All Stars.
Ooh.
And basically port locked his entire team. So that's why we call it hashtag the Bob rule.
Bob rule.
Yeah.
Is it? But, man, I hate throwing out names, but is it Bob the Ruthless?
No, different Bob.
Okay.
I won't mention.
All right.
But those that know. So I would say that. So this whole porting thing is an issue too. So try not to port too much. I really think that.
Geez. Lion threw his name out. God damn it.
Way to go, Bob. Yeah. Way to go, Lion. Well, we don't have to say it out loud. I mean, and people would have to read chat and find it. That's the beauty about Lion. He will do and say anything. I'm a little more PC. We're like, we're bros.
0 fucks given by Lion.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit. Absolutely. Yeah, you want some entertainment, you get him on your stream.
Well, I have to one of these times. Lion, yeah. What do you think about that?
He loves talking shit.
If you guys haven't, make sure you guys hit the sub button, turn on notifications.
And it gets a little crazy.
Make sure you guys smash the like button,
turn on we call it Hang with the Hose.
Make sure you guys run up on Discord
and we just hop on stream, whether it's pre-All Stars, and we're just talking about everybody wants to get their thoughts out and questions, and just generally just chewing the fat. But those can be a lot of fun, but they do get a little crazy. Sometimes people tend to hog the mic a little too much, and you want to mute them, but you don't because you asked them all to come. Yeah, they can get a little out of hand.
Fun, man. Yeah. I had one night where I had an open Discord for a live stream, and that was to all of my community, and it was the most interesting, inappropriate. There's so many words I can describe that stream with. Like after I finished, I had to take it down. It was just that bad.
Yeah.
It's crazy what some people will say and don't mind saying. Yes.
There might have been a night when we had a battlefield. YOLO was on. He may or may I might not have gotten on a flight and had to fly home and left him in the city, and he'd parked on the side of the road and he's yelling at some girls. Might have called them hookers. It got a little crazy one night. Yeah,
oh boy,
that's a classic night. He'll tell you all about that.
Way to go, YOLO. I can't wait to hear that story.
Well, yeah, he might not want to share all the details, but
maybe in private.
The other one is Spitfire. She's not been playing much. She's actually helping take care of her father, who's been ailing.
Oh, and he missed you.
But she'll tell you stories about her chickens, the cows. I mean, it's.
Oh, she got a farm?
Yeah, she's got a little hobby farm, and I won't tell you where she's. Well, it doesn't matter. You're not going to find her in Kentucky. But actually,
No,
no,
I'm definitely not.
she'd probably kill you if you show up. But yeah, no, she's hilarious. Just a big heart and a lot of fun. She always had some good stories for battlefields once we got killed.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't just walk up to a random person's house, especially in Kentucky, and just be like, hey.
See? Yeah, you know.
I'm not that stupid. Not yet.
Back to your question, though, I think, in All-Stars 2, the other thing is saving some of those heals. And I hate to say it, but at the end, you're looking at where you're sitting in the standings and how your team's doing. And much like Shallon's, it's a Shallon-style battle, so you're watching if their team scores and, do we want to not rally that team because they're ahead of us, or, we're trying to catch that team, or maybe one team's completely going to win already, so maybe we should just target them so we're not giving points to the other team. There's a lot of strategy that goes into timing on who you're rallying, what teams you're rallying, stuff like that. And that's really where I think the magic comes in for some of these teams. They just gel and figure that out on the fly. And, you got experienced people working together. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we have a handful of people that, it's a handful that haven't been to All-Stars yet, but a handful that have. And, I think our conversations have been pretty good so far. I think we get a good team that's going to communicate pretty well. We have a pretty good game plan together. Like who the rally setters are going to be and what we're going to do for rallies. We're trying to target certain people in a certain way to where we're effectively making points, but we're also not going to destroy our troops to where we weaken our defenses.
Yeah.
And then we went through, all the teams and kind of came together with a game plan of, who has everyone else faced so far in this 4 teams. And we went over defenses on known players and who to avoid, who not to avoid, and kind of what our limits were for scouting people in a sense. Like, at a certain level, we know what we're gonna send and not send at certain players. And
sure,
I think we have a good game plan. But it's only a game plan until you actually go through it and experience it.
Yeah, and I will say we've done that before. We tend not to, and I think it's just because we're an older continent and many of the players, there's only one person I think that's in the All-Star team tomorrow on Saturday that played in Elite last time and hasn't been in the upper league, which it really doesn't change things. It's just a little bit faster, I think, and bigger keeps. But yeah, I would say that a lot of really complex planning is good, and good to know sort of, this keep has got some serious buffs against Arch, or, we might want to avoid this keep because it's a T1 trap and does a really good job of ghosting, whatever those things are, or he's a heavy spender and the buffs are insane. Let's wait for that guy. That kind of thing is good to know for the rally setters, but too much prescriptive planning in an environment like that really gets chaotic, and you end up losing sight of the fact of just sending those rallies and starting those rallies. You really just need volume of rallies and trying to steal, clearing hits. Maybe you follow the other team that set that first rally, and you just want to, get the second rally in to clear that keep. Stuff like that. It's more about not trying to do too much. Now you talk about you've got a certain plan to zero a few people in the beginning. A lot of times teams will do that. They'll say, okay, we know for sure, if we get a good rally on so-and-so right at the beginning, it'll go well. Well, you may or may not get those people, but you can at least try it. But right. Focusing too much on that will lose sight of the fact that, people are getting rallied and you're having to move and do other things, and all of a sudden you're off your game plan. So as much as it's good to have the information, it kind of goes out the window once you get going.
Yeah, that was a topic too, was, okay, like this, we have a game plan set in place, but, what if things go south? Like, can we adapt quickly enough to, overcome what we originally had set planned?
Yeah.
That's kind of my worry. My personal worry right now is, heading in with a certain game plan and not adapting quick enough compared to other players.
Yep. Well, and you, of all people, you just got to speak up. I mean, I think what you'll find in those teams, you'll have some that are really like to talk, some that are talking too much, extraneous information. people are saying, rain me as opposed to rain Hefe. Everybody forgets what their name is.
Oh, dude,
Stuff
I'm so
like
glad
little
you brought
details.
that up.
Yeah, little details like that are the key things to remind people before you go in. It's not necessarily, not everybody has to know all the keeps we're targeting and who we're going to hit. It's really those rally setters and spotters. Typically, we designate spotters and setters. We don't really do that anymore. They just kind of naturally happen as you go in. But yeah, I've seen a lot of different things. I'm pretty calm. People have told me, it's just relaxing when you're setting, and I think inside I'm not as calm as I probably sound, but I tend not to get too frazzled at things.
By the heel pack, right?
But at the same time, I've on a few streams. In fact, I did have to get a little mean to a few people because they were chatting about useless things that weren't helping. So,
well, no, I mean that's one thing I have noticed about you though is you're pretty calm, cool, and collective. Like you mentioned, like on the inside you may not be that way, but for your for your team, it helps a lot when you're more of the calm, cool, collective, but you're also being effective too.
Yeah, it really is about staying calm and keeping going. Like you said, adjusting when you need to and reading those situations correctly. I mean, in some cases, it's just about setting rallies and finding opportunities. And now, even though I'm one of the bigger ones, or in the last few, like Daddy and I are in this one, there's basically 5 of us that I would say are generally rally setters or have done it before, and we're going to do it on Saturday. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. Lion's going to be setting. So, but basically those keeps are going to be setting. I actually will sometimes float back to the secondary setter where, Daddy or whoever's the main setter will be just constantly setting. Lion is typically doing this when we're in battlefields. He's setting. Well, I'll see an opportunity for a couple of zeros and I'll set 2 rallies while he's setting a different rally. I might see a cav rally and a ground rally. Mm-hmm. I'll set those, basically off the main setter just to find those hits. So it's really effective to have people that can read the battlefield and can look around. It's not necessarily always the most important thing to be the main setter. I think people forget about that.
I appreciate that advice. I do. I like that. I think you're absolutely right. Just from the little bit of experience I've had over the last year. We had somebody ask, what do you think about the ground dragon being available now with the galaxy coins?
Did they make it available now? They should.
What is that?
Yep, it's available now. Yeah, Amaratu. Yeah, I definitely think I assumed they were going to do that anytime, like before the same thing happened when they added in the wasn't it the Siege Dragon? I can't remember the one they added. I think it was the Siege Dragon, and they put Ladon in here. Initially, they didn't put the egg in, and right before All Stars, much like this, they did an update and put the dragon in there. I think it's great. I mean, I honestly, they have to make it available for people to pick up. Because it frankly is just not fair, right? I mean, you have to have a way to get those things. And for those people that weren't fortunate enough to be playing, in the last few that had Amaterasu, it's a good way for them to do it. I actually I've used my coins on old, the original All-Star keep that I didn't have. So I picked that up. Even though it doesn't have any buffs.
Those keeps are worth it? Inside the All-Star? No, not at all.
Well, the first one wasn't. It doesn't have any buffs. It just was more a nostalgia thing for me. I just picked it up. The other ones do. They definitely do. The one that just got put in the Ice Winter Castle is pretty good. I typically am going to stick with. There's a couple that have march size increases or rally size increases just based on my role. That's typically the ones that I would be using for battlefields and other things, but there's all these keeps have uses, and for the number of keeps I've got, I use one. I mean, it's just
no kidding.
Yeah, I don't switch that much. Now there might be a situation like this I was talking about where I've got this special one that puts out a buff around everybody that's within your in your area for 20 minutes. Sure, I'll use that here and there, but the other ones I just don't use. For one, when you set up your march sizes, in your presets, it gets messed up because it's got a march size increase on it. But I like having that march size increase for solos, and just sending more troops will get you more points. So,
Is that the favorite keep? Your favorite keep? Is that the one you have on currently?
no. It's last All-Star keep is the one I'm using.
Okay.
Generally, it's got the. I'll put it back on.
I call that one the blimp, if that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, the blimp. Yep.
Do you have a specific cat? Like, if you were to choose one castle, add whatever buffs to it. Do you have one that's like your favorite as far as appearance goes?
That's a good question. I do like that one I just had on. That's pretty cool looking. I like the All-Star Keep for the 5th All-Stars. It's the Gothic Keep. The Gothic Keep is probably, as far as gameplay, the Gothic Keep or All-Star 7 Keep, the Florence Castle. Those are probably two of the best keeps. And then this Blimp Keep is actually really good too. But as far as looks, my favorite is, you might be surprised, but I'll show you here my favorite. I love rocking the Mushroom Keep.
Get out of here, dude. Oh, are you serious right now?
Yeah. It's the best keep.
Are you trolling me, bro?
No. I'll rock this during SPS. I've been known to do some pretty good port swaps. My always complaint was that all the really cool keeps are 4x4s. I like the 2x2s.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting that, so you just threw me for a loop on that one. I appreciate that.
Mushroom Keep.
Mushroom
Number
Keep. I never even heard it called the Mushroom Keep, so that's a new one for me. I like it. So what are your plans, Hefe? I mean, looking forward, looking 5-6 months from now, what are your plans with Evony?
Maybe be playing? No.
Oh, the bombshell.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've heard this from a number of people. I think this All-Stars it might be the end for a bunch of people. I think they're really, everybody says, hey, I'm fed up with the spending. I'm fed up with the releases. I'm fed up with this or that. And I really think that's just been happening so much lately that people might actually be getting fed up. This release of K45 and the insane buffs that people are rolling with. It's just discouraging. I mean, most of these folks haven't gotten their T15s open, and now they're being asked to, get your academy up and get all those buffs, and then get, all the MA buffs, and that's a ton of resources. And by the way, we're going to take away your alts and not allow you that, and so you're literally going to have to spend to get that kind of growth that maybe others already had or are getting. So it's getting a little demoralizing for everyone. I think that, for me, like I said, it's always the team. It's always the people that I'm playing with and the people that are, joining battlefields and having fun on a regular basis. And our team is kind of dissolving. And frankly, about the only thing that can keep us going would be a merge. Felt like we've needed one for a while, and it just hasn't happened.
I really hope you do get it.
Yeah. So I think that'll determine some of it for me. I'll still be hanging around. I really have stopped streaming.
Don't do it, Hefe. Don't do it. Keep it going.
I know. I basically told Evony I'm not streaming your All-Stars anymore because I was pissed about all the alts getting taken and just the crackdown and all the changes. I said, you know what? I'm tired of promoting this for you guys. I probably will still stream, but who knows? Maybe we'll stream a little bit if I can make it to the next. If Lion can get me to the next round, we'll see if I stream.
I mean, I totally get it. I mean, you're more experienced than I am. And a couple weeks ago, I woke up one morning, didn't have my coffee. It was like 4 a.m. I came down to my game room, going through everything, and I'm like, man, I'm sick of having to spend the very little that I do just to try and have that little bit of grasp of, okay, I can hang on for a little bit longer. And I kind of had I'll call it a meltdown. And I think that's kind of when you reached out to me. I can't even imagine the pain, or I don't know if you want to call it a pain, but what you've been through and how you pushed through all these different scenarios throughout the years. And the fact that you still find enjoyment, just through your team, I think that's incredible. I really do.
I appreciate that. No, it's been fun. I I do miss it, but I do like to put it down a little bit. And, I'm spending less time on a daily basis. And part of that is just, I've gotten the size, I've gotten the buffs, and yeah, there's more things I could be doing. But I do a lot of things with, I hoard everything and like literally don't do anything with my keep until All-Stars comes up or Challenge comes up, just because doing that on a daily basis takes so much time to analyze things and figure out what you want to do with your stuff. I find it over the years, I just do it in one big bunch, and it saves my pain throughout the day, and I can just hang out with people online, and have fun. But I think that's one thing that's saved me recently, is just not worrying about doing all the stuff you got to click on. And there's nothing worse than having to click all day and figure out what to open and how does this work. And that's even been worse lately with all the things they've added. But yeah,
somebody
it's
just asked. Sorry,
Yeah.
but I know. I mean, no, I appreciate your input on that. I truly do. And honestly, I'm kind of trying to pick your brain to kind of try and help me, moving forward, continue to play too. And I appreciate your input on that.
Somebody was asking about that sub. So
Yeah.
what happens when you get an account banned? That was on an alt. So I don't know if anybody uses their alt. Here's another great hack, if you will. On speed up week, when you don't have consumption, if you go ahead and use all your speeds on your alts to upgrade your sub on your alt, you can get those consumption rewards, which turns into a lot of resources for your alts. So if you're not doing that, I would highly recommend that. So this green keep was on an alt that got banned. What they do is they put a 30-day bubble on it, and then it eventually opens up and is available back on the map. So we have, I don't want everybody showing up to grab these either, but we have 76 subs that'll be coming live in, 12 days?
Oh wow.
That were on different alts. Obviously, we're not picking this one up, but
I mean, that's that's pretty solid. Pretty solid America right there. You get 20% gold production.
Yeah, it's huge. If you want to do some research, it's really good. But yeah, it's that's from an alt, and that'll be open up in 12 days. So
Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that information.
Yep, it's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah. How many days overall is it? You said
30.
30
Starts
days.
at 30 days.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good.
And what we do, we're actually a NAP server, as you can see. So we set that up a while ago. Now we did go through burn and bubble and all that jazz, teaching everyone, and we have really good bubble discipline, I would say, in SVS, and so it's kind of worked. But people might say we're kind of lazy and we don't get a lot of activity on a daily basis, so people do complain about that. But not the people on our server; they actually really like it a lot. But one of the things we do is we have 30 subs that are used for growth, and we share them with the entire server. So we've got 10 gold Americans, 10 gold Euros, and 10 gold Chinas. So depending on what you are doing, if you're going to build troops, you pick up all the Chinas you can and build your troops, save some speeds, that kind of thing. So we do that as a server, actually, not just an alliance. We share them with the entire server. So yeah, we do a lot of things to try to promote growth, not just in our group, but on the whole server. But that's all evolved over a lot of time. And yeah, we've had our problems with that. People picking them up and stealing them. But I somehow usually work it out.
I can imagine that you do. If you came knocking at my door, I'd probably say yes, sir. No problem, Hefe. What do you need, man? So
yeah, it takes a lot, and honestly, it's not without its issues. It's not a perfect system, but we do try to do a lot cross server, but at the expense of you don't have bubble and burn going on.
what do you prefer? Do you prefer nap or bubble or burn?
I prefer the nap, but like I don't like smashing my own server. Honestly, I just, even when we had bubble and burn, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm actually the one in the beginning that started smashing people, and that's probably one of the most memorable things. I smashed an entire alliance because they were building their AC, and they didn't know that they had to take out the troops after it built, and so I sold like 40 keeps that were in there and killed them all because they were smaller keeps and weren't really advanced, and I was like, K30 or something.
Hey,
But,
shit happens.
Yeah. that was a good. And then all I said was, well, that's a good learning for you guys. That's your new lesson. You got to pull your troops out after you're done building. I think they come back now. They may have changed that where they come back automatically. I can't remember.
Renee said, "Why not just regular play and kill only during KE?"
That's what we do. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have yeah, we do KE like Lion said there. It's which is fun. That it's you still got a bubble on Thursday, and a 3-day won't get you through the whole weekend, so you got to do another 24. So I mean, there is some action, and I don't participate in that. I just don't. Lion doesn't really either. I mean, it's really for those that kind of miss it and want to have fun. And yeah, they do steal subs. That's the other thing. We don't allow sub stealing unless it's during KE.
I like that.
We just don't. Accidents do happen, and we figure it out eventually. But we'll give out subs. We try to, I don't know if everybody would agree that we're a nice alliance, but we try to help. There's definitely some nemesis out there, but
happens. It definitely happens. Cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, generally, I mean, honestly, like, if I could, just after this brief conversation with you, I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. I'd go play with you guys. Part of my French, but I mean, like, you seem like a pretty awesome dude. I've seen you guys play in Battlefield. I mean, you guys have a pretty damn good server and a pretty damn good team.
We got six or so keeps, over 10 billion if you want to join us.
Oh, wow. Is it really that many?
Yeah. There's quite a few people that are just not active. We actually have a couple of keeps that, like I mentioned, I play over on 176 sometimes on a smaller keep. El Gato over there on 176, 7 billion keep. And it's a lot of fun. I like to get involved with. They're a great group too. Really good team. Really fun to hang out with. But some of those folks will come over and share keeps over here and play along. So,
yeah, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know somebody named Who Knows? It says, your alliance is nice. Hope we meet again in challenge.
Oh. I don't know if that's a keep name or.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of discrepancy in that. People will hop into the YouTube chat and be like, hey, do you know me? I'm like, no, I don't know you by your full name. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But if you tell me a report, I'll look you up.
Yep. Right, listen, El Hefe, I gotta take off, my man. Dude, seriously, man. Thank you so much for your time tonight, man. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, Cleo. Yes. Sorry, Cleo. Yes, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate you asking me on, and keep up the great work. Great fans. I'll definitely come on. I'll maybe if I start piling on a stream, we'll have you over for hanging with the hose, and you can experience that chaos.
Man, I'd love to hang with the hose, and I know that sounds so wrong, but it sounds so good at the same time.
Yeah, it's House of Evolved. It's nothing more than.
Yeah, man, seriously, El Jefe, man, much respect to you. Thank you for this, man. It's an honor, and I hope we can catch up soon and stay in touch as well.
Sounds good. Mr. Yours, appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Take care, man. All right, listen, chat. I got to get going, my guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to get going. But I gotta say, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys go check out Hefe's channel. Go check out his channel. Go drop him a sub. Go drop him a follow. Go drop him a like on his videos. Great content creator. Seems like he's a very, very awesome dude. Like, down-to-earth, awesome guy. Definitely go support him. And, I look forward to trying to get to know him a little bit more in the future, too, and kind of hanging out with them. If I can get involved with Hefe and his team, I mean, he's such a great dude. I'd love to be a part of that team. I really would. We'll see what the future brings. Maybe I can talk to him in the future about some stuff like that. But for now, chat, I gotta get going. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you guys for being here. I love you guys. If you guys haven't, if you can, make sure you guys hit that sub button, turn notifications. Also, make sure you guys smash that like button, share this channel. And don't forget to join up on Discord. I'll make you guys a member after some short time. You won't be able to see the channels until I make you a member, so be patient. But for now, chat, I love you guys. Have a good night, and peace.